Good seeing you. Hi, how are you? Good, good. Oh, good. All right. Good. Really bad. Test, what was your name? What was your name? Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. Here they come. Scott. Thanks. All right. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. First up, we'll take roll call.
Commissioner Allen,
Present.
Commissioner Norwood,
Here.
Commissioner Hazel,
Here.
Commissioner Waddell,
Here.
Stallings, Commissioner Mason,
Here.
Mayor Pinkerton.
Here. Okay, thank you. Invocation tonight will be Reverend Matt Spahn from Cherokee Strip Baptist, followed by David Mason, Commissioner Mason doing the flag salute. Sir, if you'd come forward.
I don't know exactly how many hours it was, but thank you for your hard work. And I know there's a lot more than just this meeting. There's a lot of behind the scenes work. We really do appreciate that. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, as we come before you this evening, we praise you as the God of wisdom. And at Christmas, we celebrate the coming of the wonderful counselor. I pray you'd give wisdom to each one of these commissioners and others involved in the decisions they'll make. We praise you as well as the God of peace, and we know that Jesus came to bring peace and goodwill to all men. And I pray that you would bring us together as we seek the good of our city, and then we'd be able to work together in a way that would promote peace in our city. Praise you as well as the God of hope. And Lord, there are a lot of things that we put our hope in that disappoint us, but we know that when we put our hopes in you, that's an anchor that can't be taken away. And I pray that you'd give hope to each one of us. As we look ahead to the future, sometimes it seems like there's not much reason for that, but in you we do find hope that's lasting and a foundation for our lives. Praise you as well as the God of joy, as you have brought joy into the world in the sending of your Son, Jesus. It seems like during this past year, there's not been a lot of reason for joy, but in Christ there is joy. And I pray that we would be able to celebrate that and you would restore the joy in each of our lives. Pray for the proceedings tonight that you would be present and guide those involved in making decisions on behalf of our city. This we ask in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Spahn. Thank you also, Commissioner Mason. Item number 3, minutes. 3.1, consider approval of minutes of the rescheduled regular commission meeting of December 1st, 2020.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any corrections or any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Norwood,
Aye.
Commissioner Ezell,
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Stallings, Commissioner Mason,
Aye.
Mayor Pinkerton.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay. Item number 4, hearings. Conduct a hearing to consider renaming a portion of South 5th Street to Pastor Alfred Baldwin Jr. Way.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
This is the second hearing of 2. The first one was held November the 18th in this building. I did not take account how many people were here that evening, but I would guess probably somewhere 60 to 80, and all of them were in favor of the name change. There's a graphic on the screen for you to see. What's being considered is renaming 5th Street from Garriott to Ohio, and that's outlined in yellow. There are 4, if it's approved, the name change would go to Pastor Alfred Baldwin Jr. Way, and it would affect 4 properties. And they are identified there in green, 714, 1310 South 5th, 805, 801, and 815, which is Booker T. Washington and Carver schools.
Okay.
We, prior to the November 18th, sent notices in the mail to those affected property owners. I have not heard anything from any of them, so I would take that as positive news. Is there any questions that I can answer for you as staff, and then I'll step away and let others speak? If there's no questions, I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. All right.
Make a motion that we approve it.
That was just the hearing. We got to go to the next side and do the motion.
Yeah, this is just the hearing, so I think that's it. So we're done with that. Done with the hearing. Item number 5 is community development. Item 5.1, consider an ordinance renaming a portion of South 5th Street to Pastor Alfred Baldwin Jr. Way.
This is a companion item, Mayor, and is the voting item. It's simply the ordinance. Are there any questions?
No, but I'd like to make a few comments. Pastor Baldwin was a very active person in the community and a very active person for his fellow man for his entire life. He lives the kind of life that we all aspire to live. I could read through a biography that is very long and very detailed, but I won't. Instead, I'll highlight just a few things. He received a Master of Divinity degree locally here at Phillips University, and later an honor doctorate of human letters degree from Oklahoma State Church of God in Christ. He rededicated his life to Christ in November of 1968 and has been a faithful servant of Jesus ever since then. He taught for 15 years at Longfellow Junior High School in Enid. "16 years as the state dean of Oklahoma Baptist State Congress of Christian Education. He served as the president of the Southern Heights Ministerial Alliance and was a member of the NAACP chapter number 6126. He was a 32nd degree Mason, and he just, as I read through all the things that he did in his life, I'm just really inspired by the citizen that he was and how much he gave to the community. He gave for many years, and he gave to the community for many years, and he gave to his fellow man for his entire life. I'm very proud that we're taking actions tonight that will honor his memory and his lifelong selflessness. So at this point, I'd entertain a motion.
For that, I'd just like to add, I had the great pleasure of being taught by Pastor Baldwin at Longfellow, and as a moderately obnoxious junior high student, incredibly patient and was a great, not just a great teacher for I think it was biology. He was one of those teachers who engages with all the students as if they're people and adults and not just kids, and was never hesitant to take up whatever topic I felt like arguing about, and really cannot express how much I appreciated that then, and in retrospect, even more so do now. It was a great addition to our community.
All right. Anyone else? Commissioner Norwood, would you like to say something? I appreciate the fact that you brought this to the board for consideration. And if you'd like to make any remarks, you may do so.
Honored to be a part of this, and I know what Reverend Baldwin stood for in our community of the city of Enid, and also to his family. You know, he really expressed to me many times, even privately, how much he loved his wife and he loved his children, and the pride that he took in them, and how proud he was of his grandchildren. And one thing that he really expressed most is how much he loved the Lord. And that was one of the most important things in his life. And he also groomed a lot of pastors. We have a few pastors here in Enid that were under his leadership and guidance. And Pastor Wilbert Flynn, he's here tonight. He's the present pastor of First Missionary Baptist Church. I don't know if you would like to say anything or not, but if you would, you have an opportunity. You can come up and say something in his behalf. And if his wife would like to say something, you can. Any one of you all. James, I believe that's James. I can't really tell. If you'd like to say something, you can. It's up to you all. The floor is open to you now.
To all of you commissioners, I thank you very much for everything that you have done. This is a proud moment for my family. It was unexpected when I was approached about it a few months ago. And I know Alfred's up there now with the Lord saying, look at there, Lord. And the Lord said, that's what I'm going to do for you. Pastor loved life. He loved the church, and he just loved the Lord. And I know he's smiling down on each and every one of you tonight. And I appreciate everything that you all have done for us. And I'm hoping that you all have a blessed holiday. Thank you.
Amen. I'd like to say thank you all for taking the time out to even consider this. It would be an honor and a privilege, if you do approve this, to have that street run along the side of the church where Pastor Baldwin pastored at. I know you all remember the church used to be on the street behind, and you know what, everybody know that it got burnt during that difficult time that we were going through. But what I remember about that, because I was an associate pastor there at the time, that Enid was just so awesome, and everybody just rallied together. And I remember that there was a church on Broadway that offered us to use their building while our church was getting rebuilt. But God bless First Missionary Baptist Church. We had people from all over the United States that sent money here. We went to Washington, D.C., and we got to talk to the vice president and them, and then people from there sent money. So under the direction of Pastor Baldwin, God has really, really blessed the church and blessed the community and blessed Enid. And I believe the community of Enid came together during that time even greater than it was before with all the help. It wasn't a black church burning, but it was a church that burned in Enid, and where everybody was really willing to help to rebuild that. And I thank Enid for all that they did by not only rebuilding it, but let us rebuild right on O&K Garriott. And if you all pass by, it's a really beautiful church that everybody helped, not just the members of First Baptist, but people in Enid and people all over the United States. So I just want to say thank you all very, very much from the bottom of our heart. It would be a blessing and an honor to have Pastor Baldwin's name beside the church. Thank you, guys. God bless.
Okay. Thank you, Pastor.
Also, Mayor, if I may, I'd just like to personally thank our city manager, Gerald. I know I put him on the spot, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And to our city attorney, Carol Lehman, and also to Chris Bowers. Thank you, sir. It's helped us to develop a new process in which we do this in the future. So it was needed, and it was a good thing, and I'd just like to make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Norwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Ezell?
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Stallings? Commissioner Mason?
Aye.
Mayor Pinkinen?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay. Thank you. Mrs. Baldwin, if you'd like to come forward, I have something I'd like to present you. Anybody you'd like to bring with, you may as well.
It's a necklace.
Okay. This is a copy of the signs. What I have is a representation of the signs that are going to be hung on the new Pastor Alfred Baldwin Jr. Way, the part of 5th Street that we just voted to do. So I'd like to present a copy to you as a memento of this great occasion and for the great service that your husband provided for our community. So let me pass that to you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Item number 6 is consent agenda items.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve in a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Norwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Ezell?
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Stallings? Commissioner Mason?
Aye.
Mayor Pinkinen?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 7, recess to convene as the Enid Municipal Authority. Item number 8, all trustees of the Enid Municipal Authority rescheduled regular meeting are in attendance. Item number 9, Enid Municipal Authority rescheduled regular meeting is now in session. Item number 9.1, consider a resolution increasing the 2020-2021 fiscal financial plan for the Enid Municipal Authority Solid Waste Department in the amount of $500,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Allen?
Aye.
Mr. Norwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Zell?
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell?
Aye.
Mr. Stallings? Commissioner Mason?
Aye.
Mayor Pinkinen?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item 9.2, approval of claims in the amount of $1,519,572.56.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Allen? Commissioner Norwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Zell?
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Stallings? Commissioner Mason? Mayor Pinkinen?
Aye.
7-0.
Item number 10, adjourn to convene as the Enid Economic Development Authority. Item number 11, all trustees of the Enid Economic Development Authority rescheduled regular meeting are in attendance. Item number 12, Enid Economic Development Authority rescheduled regular meeting is now in session. Item 12.1, approval of claims in the amount of $23,877.78.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Norwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Zell?
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Stallings? Commissioner Mason?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Item number 13, adjourn to convene as the Enid Public Transportation Authority. Item number 14, all trustees of the Enid Public Transportation Authority rescheduled regular meeting are in attendance. Item number 15, the Enid Public Transportation Authority rescheduled regular meeting is now in session. Item 15.1, approval of claims in the amount of $2,559.83.
To approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Call for the vote.
Mr. Allen? Commissioner Norwood?
Aye.
Commissioner Zell?
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Stallings? Commissioner Mason?
Aye.
Mayor Pinkinen?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay. Item 16, adjourn to reconvene as the Enid City Commission. Item number 17, public comment. I don't believe we had any public comments from the doors, but Commissioner Mason has asked for a chance to speak. Sir, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. Several months ago, there was a house come up here for sale in Enid. My wife and I decided to purchase. It is out of Ward 6. That house won't be complete till February or March to move into. So we were able to stay in our house right up until it sold. And as a result, we are closing on that house, and it's going to be important that I'm going to have to resign from the commission since I can no longer live in Ward 6. Effective tonight at midnight is when I'd like that to be effective. I do want to say just a few things. First of all, I have enjoyed every single moment of being on this council. I've just thought back over the last couple of years, and it just, you really get to know people pretty well whenever you sit in a executive session and you go over and over some topics. We've had some pretty spirited debates. We've had some pretty spirited debates right here. But that's what they call democracy. And I was very glad to be a part of that and to represent the constituents in Ward 6. I've just really liked getting to know each one of y'all, and I've just enjoyed it so much. Gerald, wanted to thank you. you've been aside from just a good city manager, a good person to call and talk to. You and I were talking the other day on the phone, and I think that you lend that common personality that commissioners need sometimes when we get a little cranked up over something, and I appreciate that. You've always shown concern on anything that I've called about. If I've had a constituent call that needs something done, you guys are right on it every time. Carol, I've enjoyed you. It took you and I a little while to get to know each other's personalities, but I think I have a very good friend now with Carol Lehman. So I do appreciate that. And I appreciate everything that you do for the city also. One other group I wanted to mention that I think we overlook sometime are just all of our city employees. We have over 400 employees with the city of Enid, and we're real quick to point out whenever a water line breaks or a sewer line breaks that we're upset, that my convenience is not what I want it to be. These folks work tirelessly to just make it work smoothly, day after day after day. And I think that goes unrecognized sometimes. And I just really appreciate all those folks that just do their job. They show up, they do their job every single day to make our community operate and function in a very orderly fashion. I will say I've been very proud to be a part of the Cold Water Project, even though it was a small part. So much of that was done before I was able to be a part of it. I am so glad that we had staff and city commissioners that could have enough foresight to realize that you can't wait until you're out of water to go find water. And 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting right here in this room that lasted, a long time, 3 or 4 hours. And what a lot of people missed, because I probably got 100 phone calls after that meeting, not one of them talked about the $243 million contract that we awarded Garney to deliver this pipeline for us. And today, the contract was signed with the Water Resources Board to borrow $205 million at 1.84 interest. I think that was all lost in the meeting last week. COVID will pass, hopefully sooner than later. But the Cold Water Project will go on for the next 50 years and ensure that we can expand and that we have enough water for all of our folks here in not just Enid. We forget about that sometimes. We provide water for 8 municipalities or rural water programs. So it's not just for Enid that we have to have that water. And I was glad to be a part of that. So, Mayor, thank you very much. I've enjoyed it, and I just continue, and I think everybody does. We see things differently sometimes, but the thing I do believe that with this council, every one of us wants what's best for our community. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate your service, David. And I know I speak on behalf of all of us. It's hard to step in, especially when you're appointed. You didn't run for election, but you stood up when you were called and volunteered to do it. And it takes a big person to do that. So thank you very much.
Mayor, I just wanted to make a comment about our Parks Department and the rest of the city of Enid that help decorate the parks here, particularly out of Meadow Lake, both north and south sides of Meadow Lake, and what they're doing out there on Saturday nights. It's free to the public. You can just drive through the north end of the park and then weave out and go through the south end, and there's characters and they're giving things away. And it's just really wonderful that during an ice storm and a pandemic and all the other things that are going on, that the city still found time to send crews out to decorate that the way it looks. It's just fabulous. It's unbelievable. And it's going to grow and it's going to be a huge deal. The first night they did it, I guess 3 weeks ago, 1,700 people went through it. I'm not sure how many the next time last Saturday, somewhere around 1,500 people. So we're really bringing a lot of people into Enid. We're taking care of the citizens here with something, again, that it's free, no cost. And the city of Enid employees, the greatest employees in the world, are out there freezing their bottoms off and dressed up in these little outfits, and they're so cheerful, and it's just a delight to go out there. So I encourage anybody that hasn't made it out there, go out there or go out there again. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, let me make one more. We didn't have a state of the city this year because COVID came in, and it didn't make sense to put everybody at risk by putting everybody in a small place at the same time to go through some of that. So we figured we'd reschedule it, and you know what? We haven't been able to reschedule. Some of the things that I think that I've seen that have happened in the city during the past year, and this is by no means an inclusive list. And by the way, we will have a state of the city as soon as it's safe to do so. But the funding of Call Lake was brought up before. I guess extra credit, I think, goes to Commissioner Ezell. He's been here the longest, but more than been here the longest, he's been here since inception of the idea. He has been the one that has understood every spreadsheet that came through, what the effect was on financing, when we had to hold the line and where we had to hold the line. He's taken a great leadership position on this from the very beginning, and we all appreciated that. We just closed on the Great Plains National Bank. We had an opportunity to buy a bank downtown, and it came at a perfect time for us. We were looking for a place to put a youth center somewhere near downtown. And I believe in divine intervention, and I think maybe it had a little bit to do with that, because at the exact time we were looking for that, this opportunity came by. And we're going to see that happening pretty quick. Skate park, if you haven't been over by 5th Street, that's coming along. It was supposed to be open on the 18th of December. That might get delayed. There might be just a little snow out there. But that's going to be a wonderful attraction for the youth in our community. Along with that, have you seen the ice skating park? It was another idea from another citizen in Enid. I think he got together with Main Street Enid and they made that happen, but it's a wonderful place to go. I see it's crowded all the time. Low water crossing. We've been trying to expand the trail system, and the trouble we had going through Meadow Lake was trying to get across that Meadow Lake. But that's almost completed, and that's going to allow us to expand there. We had our first police academy that was hosted by Enid. Another thing that's showing that Enid's taken the lead there. The district is coming to fruition. We've got a Colton Steakhouse there now, a Jiffy Trip's going up, and lots of other stuff going in there. There's all kinds of things happening in Enid, but they don't happen by themselves. They happen because there's a lot of hard work by a lot of people. So I think we had a good year despite the fact we had 2 snowstorms, an ice storm, and COVID-19 hit us. So I appreciate the work of everybody, not only at the table here, but the community as well. So I look forward to another great year, and just felt like saying some of that because this is our last meeting for this year. So anyway, look forward to the state of the city coming up a little bit later. Anybody else have anything else? Seeing none, we're gonna item 18, executive session. Item 18.1, consider convening into executive session to discuss the performance and continued employment of City Attorney Carol Lehman and City Manager Gerald Gilbert.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, call for a vote.
Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Norwood?
Aye.
Rozell,
Aye.
Commissioner Waddell,
Aye.
Commissioner Stallings, Commissioner Mason,
Aye.
Mayor Pinkinen.
Aye. Okay. Okay, we're going to convene into executive session.